Britain and Spain have united forces in the south of Spain as General Graham links up with General Le Pen to fight and try and relieve the siege of Cadiz. And they are facing down against Perrin and his French corps as they now try and defeat them at Barossa. We have another glorious NTW3 historical battlefield today. And yes, we have the Battle of Barossa here, as we are going to see as the French are going to attempt to try and ambush the Spanish column here along this road, as they sort of did in 1811. The Battle of Barossa was kind of a ambush battle that then did turn into a pitched battle. The French did manage to ambush elements of Graham and Le Pen's armies, and then did sort of turn the battle into a pitched battle. It was in fact a coalition victory in history. Whether it will be here again today, we will see. It is going to be very interesting to see whether history will be recreated or whether it will be changed. How the sort of spawn setup as well, it does allow the French to really concentrate down on this Spanish army that has had to start all the way back here on this sort of like peninsula over here. It's kind of protected by marshlands, but as soon as it comes out of that marshy area, it is very much strung out on a road here, and you can see there's like artillery. We've got lots of howitzers, and we've got also like other like foot artillery. There is a horse artillery as well that's run all the way down. 6-pounders already got to friendly British lines. And yeah, in this battle we do have two Blake corps. We do have Manuel Le Pen is somewhere along here as well. We have the artillery right at the back of the lines here with the grenadiers and some dragoons back here. Look like they're going to be matching up. There is Le Pen, and then we have another sort of Spanish army over here with a combat jet. And then we have also got two Graham corps, which are one with a combat jet and then one with Graham, of course. Then we have for the French, we have three Victor Perrin, well, just Victor corps, and then we have a Ney corps as well. Two of the Victor corps have combat gens, and then the Ney and also the like one of the Victor corps has generals. Don't know what these dragoons are doing, but they kind of charged in slightly wrong there. And as you can see, we have a dragoon versus dragoon challenge going on here, and it seems as though the French are going to win this one by the looks of it. It looks like the dragoons of Lusitania here are getting cleared out. That's a very easy win there for the French, and now the French go in against some skirmisher lines. Line infantry behind us, blasting those French chasseurs cheval by the looks of it. The dragoons here have a little bit more joy. Looks like they're going to be countercharged now by lancers of the Spanish, and they're going to try and keep them at bay. There's a lot of Spanish cav in this force here to try and stop the French from attacking constantly along the line. Here goes some King's German Legion 2nd Hussars. It's a pretty decent light hussar. A very bold move from the British players. Send this one in. They've got themselves surrounded and killed off. You might recognise this battle because we did cover it in a stream quite recently, an NTW3 stream. So you might have seen some of this battle, but it definitely is worth checking out. And in streams you don't often see all the glorious stuff that's going on because I'm busy trying to micro. But yeah, I was playing as one of the Graham armies in this one. My cavalry was the foolish cavalry that got charged and got itself surrounded. I was really hoping that the Spanish might have assisted, but I was just a little too late getting my calves there. I was really hoping to assist these dragoons, but I had quite a lot of ground to cover, and the Spanish dragoons broke a lot quicker than I expected them to. But yeah, that is sort of like the first little skirmish of the day. It seems there's actually another one going on over here as Spain gets stuck in. They've got those grenadier cavalry over here of their own. They're getting stuck in. They're winning their fight as well. They managed to defeat the French cav over here. Very nicely done. Those grenadiers doing a very, very good job. And there you go, the rear guard's all protected. The artillery can continue to move forward for now unmolested. There's still plenty of infantry as well that's got to get through. There are some squarables as well, which is good to see. They seem like they're mainly in the front lines here for the Spanish, and they need to be if they're going to keep pushing forward, because the French cav now kind of is sort of blocking the road and not going to let the Spanish through if they want to rejoin up with the coalition forces over here. So it looks like Britain is sending down some infantry units here. We've got multiple units of British lines going down, and obviously Britain can all form a square. It looks like we can see a horse artillery as well get on this hill and start blasting away at the French lines. That's definitely not a bad idea. We've also seen like artillery over here as well, just dueling, just doing, just being a pest. Found us here for the Brits, trying to, you know, support by blasting any French cavalry or just any French unit that just appears on the battlefield in front of them. They've got a good hill which they can defend, and that is the objective of today's battle, is to hold this hill. If the British and the Spanish hold this ruin at the top here, and then they win the battle. But if the French hold it by the end of the battle, then they are the victors here today. So you see that both sides have to hold Battle de la Barossa. And that is the 4 point here in the corner. So you've got to hold to win today's battle. That is the objective of the Battle of Barossa. But yes, we will see who can do that. Obviously, the French will prefer to have a melee fight here today. The Brits and the Spanish would much rather have a line fight and keep themselves out of melee if possible. But there are some very good melee units for the Brits here today, as our team flying through and narrowly misses this cavalry unit here. Very nice, done by the coalition artillery there. Looks like some there's been some casualties already. Looks like from the British. I think actually it might have been friendly fire. But yeah, there are quite a few good units here for the Brits. We've got the Coldstream Foot Guards, we've got the Scott Guards as well. They're like really small units, like 65-man units. We do also have some large units. I feel like there's another Coldstream there. There's some pretty decent units amongst them that are very good at melee. And I mean, the Spanish can also bring some pretty good heavies. I think these are technically a heavy cav unit. It's a provisional one, but it is a heavy cav unit. And there's a Foot Guards there. There's a 111-man unit. And this is the general. This is the combat general for the Brits. So Werner von dem Butch is the combat gen that has been brought for the Brits for the other army. But there are some pretty decent British guard units lying around, and they're small units, but they're very much melee orientated, of course. But yeah, as you can see now, it's kind of gone a little bit quiet. We've had a bit of a charge early doors from the French with a lot of cav, and now so they're kind of maybe just trying to gather up their forces once again, maybe go for another charge. Honestly, I'll keep this general moving along the line. He needs to get back to friendly lines. We cannot allow them to be generalists and these Spanish to be leadless, because then morale for them will be a problem. But yes, if you want to send in any of your own NTW3 battles to have them covered on the channel, then do feel free to send them into my Discord. The link's down below in the description. As always, guys, I'm more than happy to check out your replays and your content that you're like sending in. I always am interested to see what sort of battles you guys are getting up to. But this is certainly an epic one and a very close one. And yeah, it comes down to the wire. So definitely worth getting yourself some snacks, get yourself some drinks, and yeah, sit back, relax, and prepare for some Napoleonic action. In history, this battle actually was, like I was saying, a victory for the coalition. But Graham wasn't really able to take advantage of his sort of victory, because he actually took far too many losses, and it was like a Pyrrhic victory pretty much for the coalition, and he had to withdraw from his sort of position. His like little landing he made. I think he had to re-embark and pull back and get more reinforcements, because yeah, it just didn't really work. I can't remember if they re-embarked or whether they just linked up with more Spanish troops in Andalusia, but yeah, they had to retreat with Graham and basically call off all offensives. And it looks like at both ends of the line here, we're now seeing Spanish cav. I don't know what happened here with pathfinding, or maybe they should have definitely charged these. Actually, they could have formed a square if they wanted to. But it looks like, again, at the back lines, we are seeing another fight taking place. Grenadiers. Yeah, they've already won one fight. Can they win another? The units for the French do look very cool, that's for sure. They actually look like they might win this one. No, they won't, because a Castadore, a little light cav unit is coming in here. Now it's looking like it's going to surround the French dragoons here. And the 2v1, surely, yeah, I was going to say the French are going to be beaten back, but actually everything routed. That is unfortunate that everything's routed. Those Grenadiers might return. 49 out of 76, they probably will return, I would have thought. But yeah, Spain's kind of running out of cav pretty quickly here. Good thing they have brought so much, and looks like, what Spanish unit is this over here? A little dragoon unit. Managed to break through. It's actually managed to get a Laguerre unit. Managed to rout them. That is a bit of success there. Very, very nice. And Britain now has kind of arrived to sort, and in great force actually. The whole British army over here has kind of come down the hill and is ready sort of on the road to either support in the fight here, whether they're going to fight by the water or whether they're going to fight on the hill. I'm not quite sure, but they can use the terrain to their advantage. They could just have the waters at their backs and kind of just like have squares and a decent unit scattered about to try and sort of hold in a melee line if they wanted to. It's certainly kind of what they did in history. They kind of used the terrain of the hill and also by the water here. They did try and use that to basically avoid sort of being outflanked. And in this case, it's by cavalry. I'm not really sure whether it's the case really with infantry, but yeah, I mean both sides are fairly similar sized unit, like armies. I mean actually Graham did outnumber Victor by about 2,000 men. But yeah, it's they both lost around about 3,000 men in total. So it was a bit of a dent into sort of Perrin's army, but I mean Perrin has like another 20,000 troops. I'm pretty sure this is like technically one division that's like it's sent to try and stop Graham's sort of advance. He has 2 more divisions to Perrin, who are actually still besieging Cadiz, which is so far held out I think for like a couple of years. I think they're a few years into their siege by this point. Not that there's really much they can do because they didn't have a navy, so they actually couldn't fully blockade Cadiz, so it's still getting supplied and reinforced by the British and Spanish navies. So it was like a pretty pointless siege really. But here we go, cavalry coming in, going after skirmishers, and looks like the Auberciers as well. And there you go, in goes the dragoons, and they should get these Auberciers. And they ended up just being a bit of a waste of money there for the Spanish. They have shot those 9-pounders there, and they might, you know, get some use out of them still. Yet there looks like some more dragoons going for the Spanish, and this looks like it's going to be either do or die here for the Spanish cav. Trying to win this fight here. Looks like we've got more. Is that another dragoon going in? There's dragoons Lusitania, a small unit. They're going in trying to rout stuff. There's French infantry here. Looks like it's going in column. Whether the Spanish cav can maybe charge that. Looks like Carabineers Real also going in. Yeah, an elite cav unit. That looks like it's going in. But there you go. French infantry kind of walking into the Spanish lines. I don't think they actually realised what they were doing. They just kind of walked in. And then here we go, yeah, more French cav joining the fight. Swarming those carabineers that just joined the fight as well. What remains of the Spanish dragoons also kind of getting outnumbered. I can't see many yellow tunics compared to the green tunics of the French. And there you go, yeah, the French are victorious in that one as well. And there you go, Le Pen finally getting a move and getting out of there because yeah, the rear lines are not looking good. Lancers here of the Excremena getting charged, not getting a charge for themselves. It's not good for a Lancer. They need a charge to give themselves any sort of advantage in a fight. And there you go, they're going to get routed. And so there's 9-pounders as well that are already gone. And then in the back line, you can see here the Grenadiers, Cabal, I think are also getting routed. They did rally, but just to be routed once more. And there you go, that is a bad start for the Spanish, losing quite a lot of assets, lots of artillery, lots of cavalry lost. That is not a good start at all. And yeah, France getting out with minimal losses. This cav unit routing is kind of unfortunate. It's a big dragoon unit. Might return, but yeah, the French haven't lost a single. I think they lost 1 infantry unit, and then they've lost a couple of cav units, and that's about it. But it seems like they have ample cav left. Lots of it still here. Like I said, this one might re-rally, but there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 dragoon units here that I could, well, I say 2 dragoon units, a Vistula Legion Lancer, which is a very elite Lancer, at least better, and a Chasseur Cheval. So they have a good variety of cav there, and that won't be all of it. I imagine there's more over on these flanks here as well. It looks like British and French artillery duel it out. This artilleryman getting hit square in the face by a British cannonball, and he's getting up. He's an absolute champ. He doesn't get stopped by 1 cannonball. He's going to take more than that to stop him. Yeah, the British guns start dueling with those next French gunners. You can see who comes out on top. I mean, Britain has the high ground, but the French, they have probably the better artillerists. Is that the right word? I don't know, the better artillery crew? I don't know if that's how you really put it, but some of these Spanish units I imagine are going to get caught by the French. The French typically move quicker and also seem to have access to the road, so they will probably be able to march quicker. There's the Spanish troops there for the French. There's some Spanish loyalists by the looks of it, or maybe they're Poles actually. You can see by the officer units. This is a Polish unit going in. They'll be very good at melee. They're going in. They don't have the typical like sort of like Anyway, they're going to melee the Poles. They should easily wipe away these infantry here. And squareable as well. That could be very important. It's a 180-man squareable unit. I mean, a big old square that could have been very useful. But the next couple, not squareable, so the cavalry could easily deal with them if it needs to. What else is coming forward here? What do we have here? Looks like a lot more Poles, actually. Yeah, a lot of Poles being brought here. There you go, yeah. And we've got Polish Grenadiers as well. Yeah, this is looking like a very strong melee force over here for the French. I'm seeing, yeah, like I said, a lot of Poles. And yeah, these look more like the typical sort of Polish units here. These no Vistal Legions yet. I don't know if they can bring the infantry variant. There's a fair amount of Grenadiers here as well for the French. So yeah, good melee force being brought. I mean, typical French infantry can usually melee fairly well as well. But yeah, Poles and also the Grenadiers will do exceptionally well. Here we go, more Poles going in. They're going to gut those Spaniards. There you go, getting some shots off, as well as the French. Don't know why they're bothering to shoot from all the way back there. They're not going to hit anything with those smoothbore muskets of theirs. I mean, look at this. Le Pen was like, I was desperate. I was like, he's very tired in fairness. He has done a bit of running. I was like, please get him back. He needs to be quicker than this. These Spanish are just getting picked off one by one. It's like, we're not going to out chase them right now. We're not like outrun them. We need you to run him back. Get him exhausted if you have to. There's a big cav unit here, 106-man unit for the Spaniards that is yet to go in. I don't think it'll go in as well. I mean, I'd imagine a fair few of those Polish units can fall square. Maybe even some of these Grenadier units as well. They might, they'll be fine with just squaring up and stopping that Spanish cav unit. Looks like France right now is going to go down this road and just kind of almost ignore the hill. Trying to attack the Brits here and the Spanish. But I mean, this is kind of okay for the British. I mean, they have the flank there with the water, and then they have, on their other flank they have artillery and a hill. So I mean, the French are going to have to come through a pretty brutal spot. They're going to have to come and like pass this artillery fire here of the Spanish horse artillery, and then they're going to have to also face the British muskets. I was going to say rifles, but they're not rifles. We have no rifles. We also have a few Portuguese here as well, but not many. They're like, I think, our only unsquareable units as the Brits. But yeah, there you go. Like these horse artillery units, a great thing they got back, even if the rest of the artillery did not get back to Spain. Like those horse artillery units can be very key for just moving them around the battlefield to danger spots where we can, move our then maybe put some canister volleys in to like a danger spot and just sort of maybe try and stop a French charge potentially. But we'll see. Yeah, the artillery's still blasting away, though it's silently blasting away now for some odd reason. And now the waiting sort of begins as we wait for the French to act, and they're still chasing over here at the moment. We might catch a couple more of these units, and they might get this squareable as well. The Del Rey in Memorial. Looks like they are going to probably get that as well. This beach is starting to go from a pale sort of yellow to a pretty crimson red as the blood of Spanish and French are spilled here today. Get to see many Brits lose their lives. We might be about to hear the 47th don't think about forming squares soon. The cauliflowers, they need to form square. There they go. And they repel those French goons. For king and countrymen. And there you go, they rout those dragoons. Excellent job there from the cauliflowers, losing a mere 8 men, but all worth it. And they need to hold fire to the Spanish back here. The Brits just kind of marching through their line. Somehow they lose a man. Prince of Wales volunteers here, but yeah, they need to just fall back to these guys, the cauliflowers, do their job, making sure that the French aren't going to be able to catch up with the rest of the Allied army by the looks of it. Well, I say maybe not all of it. This unit might be caused well. The En Memorial was, and it looks like now so is the Severe El Teledor. There you go, easily routed. Another Spanish unit gone. This is not good stuff. And then, I mean, look at that. This is the reward for the cauliflowers, getting shot in the face here by Spanish allies. Somehow didn't lose a man, but yeah, I mean, the Spanish, it's very not helping Anglo-Spanish relations here, just shooting their own troops. And I mean, they're already a bit of a on the back foot, but they're going to shoot their own troops, do the Spanish and the British. And it looks like the skirmish is now over here for the Brits. Are sending starting to get a little bit of action. Looks like it's the flank battalion Bernard and also the Itadores. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's going like that. That's how we're going. Anyway, they're going it to fall back. They've tried to be a bit of a pest over here. Looks like they've done some damage to the French as they've come forward. The French are now going to clear out the skirmishers from here. I mean, and there's not really anywhere we can support them. We can maybe just, you know, keep these guys here at the edge of the forest, keeping a pest. Unlikely they're going to really, you know, hit these skirmishers at the moment. The flank battalion needs to get back a little bit because, yeah, here come the French. They're going to start meleeing. And in they go. Looks like the flank battalion are going to get caught. Oh, that poor man is being absolutely swarmed by Frenchmen. And there you go. They're going to get overwhelmed slowly. I think they are going to get caught. And yeah, instead, again, the Spanish is going to mow down the flank battalion and kill them off as they try to shoot the French. They kind of did the French job for them. And now we're starting to see skirmishes for the French. Well, we're not really seeing them, we're just seeing the smoke starting to light up the artillery crew onto this hill. And yeah, they're trying to target the crew members of the British artillery up here. It's not a bad idea. Now, France and Spain can start their line duel over here. Britain's also here as well, some big units. Troops, more like sort of Portuguese infantry. They got some not so great units here in the front line for the first British troops. An artillery, shrapnel or something going off there. I think that might be from the British artillery. It's fine. I saw like I don't know, shrapnel shots or something. There's no howitzers or something for the coalition alive. The only one was the Spanish one, and it's been routed. Need some horse artillery that's going to start to move. And yeah, France is actually looks like they're falling back from this side. They're not continuing their assault here. I honestly thought they were going to just keep going up that road, keep meleeing their way forward. They were doing a great job, and the Poles and the Grenadiers combined together. Good, strong force. Looks like they've given up on that sort of plan, and it looks like they're shifting elsewhere. Not a clue what this unit is. I don't recognise the uniform at all. Might be a Portuguese, like Portuguese Legion unit, maybe, or it's probably more than likely a Spanish unit. Yeah, France now shifting his forces. As you can see, looks like he's going back towards this road, and it looks like he's going to go back up here. Maybe go over to this side and make another assault over on this flank instead. There's open ground here, kind of again just avoid the hill, and also it's open ground, it's open flat ground, which is what the French will want for their infantry and for their cavalry to get the best charge possible. Either this is Ney or this is Perrin. I think it's Victor Perrin actually here. So, you know, he's already on the battlefield surveying the situation, going, how the heck am I going to crack that hill? The Brits on top of it. Graham following in Wellington's suit, you know, sort of, you know, finding a big old hill, standing on top of it, and asking the French to come up there and try and fight him for it. Historically, Ney wasn't there. Also, I'd just like to say, before people say in the chat, like, oh, Ney wasn't there historically. I think this is supposed to be Ney, or maybe this is... Maybe we've got them mixed up. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, historically, Ney wasn't there. He was busy actually elsewhere in the Iberian Peninsula. He was more so like in the north, doing his little bit there with his... I think he had the 6th Corps. I'm not quite... I can't remember what number Victor has. But yeah, Ney was elsewhere. It's just for balancing, because both sides now have 30 points to work with. Originally, this like scenario had all just Victor Perrins, and obviously they had one Victor Perrin with combat with the actual gen. The rest had combat gens. Felt like since the French were having to be the aggressors, that they can't really, you know, assault a hill with 3 combat gens, and also have a 2-point like disadvantage. So we kind of evened it out. Which so people are like, oh, it's not a true historical battle, but they got to be historical, but also, you know, balanced to a certain effect that, you know, they could be winnable for both sides. Because though obviously, yes, historically the French lost this battle, we do want to give them a chance so they can actually win it and change history, because otherwise no one would ever play the French. That's the same with all of our scenarios, really. Looks like some Zapadores here getting blasted by their own Spanish artillery, so that's their reward for, putting up the stakes, which is a very good spot to put them as well. Now he's protecting these that foot artillery and also this Spanish artillery here. They can now sort of just pound away, not worry about artillery for a little bit. Looks like the Zapadores are actually going to just go and challenge the skirmish still. How wise an idea that is, I don't know. Also, France decided to put these men in one very long line here. I guess to avoid getting shot at by the artillery, but it's one singular infantry now. I don't know if it would be the greatest of targets. There's a much nicer, juicier target back here, which is this Dragoon, which is just sitting here patiently, just getting shot at every so often by British artillery. Also, there is a large blob of French infantry here, which is sniped at. So yeah, at this point in the game, we were a little concerned as the coalition. I mean, the French have all of the assets on their side. They have Cav. Really the only Cav left is this King's German Legion Hussar there. We have this heavyish looking Cav unit here. We have another one over here, which is another Caballeria de Linea. And then we also have the Carabineros Real. I think that is it when it comes to Cav. We don't really have much really to offer. So it's what? 4 units of Spanish Cav, maybe not even that, 3 units of Spanish Cav, and then a British Cav, which is a general, so we can't really use it. The French definitely have more Cav than that they can throw in. They definitely have more skirmishers as well, because we're already losing ours. Here comes a tiny little Cav unit here. It's like a guard unit for the French, like a Spanish guard unit. It looks like they're going to get the artillery here, these 6-pounders. Yep, I don't think they got routed by the Cav, they just got routed by the 11th foot here, blasting them. And that is a shame, that's a real shame. These skirmishers here weren't able to cover them. And that's another artillery piece gone for the coalition. And now down to 2 horse ones and this foot one over here, which is another British one. Yeah, that's not good at all. There's not really much, again, to fire at. I mean, got the 600 here. I think I'm still firing at all those, the Cav back there, trying to weaken it. We're just waiting patiently on the French to sort of move forward with their infantry. Which they should do at any moment. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit as we wait for the French to come forward. But yes, if you haven't, if you like the historical battles and want to see more of them and haven't checked out my insanely long historical battle replay sort of playlist I have for the Napoleonic Wars, it's like over 130 battles at this point. Might even be more than that now. And yeah, we are currently trying to, I guess, get every single historical battle or just every single battle in the Napoleonic Wars covered in some way or another, it seems. Which will be good. I would really like if we could get them all done. I mean, there must be hundreds. It'd be an insane sort of thing to do. But we could give it a good go. And yeah, but if you want to see more historical battles anyway, there is a playlist that you can go and check out all of the historical battles for NTW3. There's a playlist. I'll leave a link for it in either the description or at the end screen if you haven't. If you get that far in the battle, I hope you do so, because it is a glorious one, that is for sure. And then yeah, you can go and see some more historical battles, whether they're Peninsula ones or whether there are other sort of theatres. We've done like pretty much every single theatre, the Russian one, the Iberian one, all the a lot of the German campaigns and the 100 Days campaigns, just some today, and like the defense of France as well. Since that's like, I think 1814 is still the most recent update. That feels like a long time ago that 1814 came out. I really am excited to see when the next update comes out. If we get another update, surely we will. I'd be devastated if we didn't get another another update. I'm begging for like a 1813 sort of cause with maps, so we can do Bautzen and Lutzen. Because I'd really like to have unique maps for those, because there's some pretty cool, cool battles there. And I'd also like them to fix some of the 1814 ones, because yeah, they're buggy as hell. And there's like some really cool historical battles that we still can't do for 1814 because the maps just don't work. But hey ho, you move on. You move on. Also, while we've been speaking and chatting about this French cav is still being just getting chipped away, I just have to say. I'm surprised that the player did not realize. Usually, like, I try and keep an eye on, like, when you're at the bottom, if you like your HUD, you usually have all your units. You see a unit just get, like, losing men gradually. Alarm bells usually start to ring for me, and I move it just a little bit, just to, you know, make the artillery not so trained in on it. Move it so it's hidden. And as suspected, the French are moving to this left flank here. We're seeing a general already shift of his. Probably means there's infantry in front of him. Yep, there you go. Literally on cue. We have Polish infantry now appearing. Lots of Poles fought in Spain for the French. Most famously at Barossa, where a tiny Polish force, I think of around about 1,000, beat 3 or 4 times this number in French. In British Allied troops, I think. Might be more than that. Sort of like the ratio difference. But yeah, the Poles fought quite a lot in Spain. It's one of their main theatres they fought in, along with the Russian front as well. A bit of an odd place for them to be fighting. I think they're going to be actually independent. Like, at this point, surely, when you're fighting in Spain against Spanish, British, and the Portuguese, you're probably thinking, we're not going to get Polish independence. What are we fighting for, really? We're just fighting for an emperor who craves land and power. Not fighting for a man that wants to give us a free Poland. Poles. But here we go. Looks like there's dragoons setting up. Whether they'll go in, I don't know. I mean, the skirms here just need to, you know, be calm. They'll be fine. They might get charged here, and they are going to get charged here. It's a bit of a risk here by the French, obviously, because just charging skirmishers. But here we go. In go these dragoons. Absolutely swamping his Tiradores. Smashed into those, and now goes in the it's not a big cav unit, but it's a fairly big one. And looks like that infantry unit there couldn't form square anyway. The infantry of Napoleon looks like it's just gone into melee. The squares getting formed up here, and again more Tiradores just trying to be a pain. It looks like the French cav is redlining. Oh, there's a bit of fimming going on there though. That's not great from the Spanish. That's not great.
Your men have been routed, sir.
You be careful here with their squares, though, just shooting back to the Tiradores. Looks like they're coming out of square formation as the Poles come forward. These boys are going to have to start getting into melee if they want to have any chance of success. The longer they stay out of melee, these units of Poles are going to suffer. In goes a Polish unit. Looks like it's a line infantry. Getting rid of those Tiradores there. That is probably, well, I'd say it's a good move, but it's just the first move they have to make. It's not necessarily a good one. Looks like we've got Visual Lancers here about to go in. That cav unit here on the flank is still looking pretty beaten up, and it's tired. Whether that's a good idea to send those guys in. So they are going to get stuck in some infantry here accidentally. Even if they did mean to charge this cav, it's done a really good job actually. Going to break those very easily. They might actually break some of this infantry as well. A square could have been formed here by the Zamora infantry. It was not. And the line goes in along the front, really. France is going for all-out assault with his Poles. He's getting side shots where he can with some of these infantry units. They're trying to assist his own men. The French have been routed here. So they'll walk by just a Castadora unit. Pretty hard. Here comes Cadiz, Real. They're routing the French there. Very nice done. Now can they countercharge? They need to try and get rid of some of these other French units here as well. More French going in. The Brits now angling a little bit, trying to help support and get some flanking shots. Spanish to be careful not to overcommit. These Cadiz, Real are kind of doing a little bit of that. They need to get out of there, try and charge something else. We're going to get a rear charge off here into these Frenchmen. Redlining them, very nice. Oh, there's some more serious filming there going on. That was some pretty bad filming. In goes that really big cav units. They're already lost over about half its troops. British units in here as well. We've got the 3rd Scots, the Cadiz, going in. A general's fallen. Whose general is dead? Oh, they managed to get all the way through the Carabiniers Real. And if their general might be an infantry unit, I think. I'm not sure. Looks like it might have been the case. Anyway, they managed to rout it here with the Carabiniers Real. They're being swarmed now by more French infantry and cavalry. But that general dying has caused a bit of a rout across the front, at least for some of the French. Whether they are with that general, I don't know. British redcoats could be stuck in. We've got some redlining guys. The Coldstreams are redlining. Shameful display. Britain again getting charged in. Go more. Actually, the Coldstreams are broken, but yeah, the French are starting to get around the flank here a little bit. They are sending more and more infantry to this flank, trying to break through. And it looks like in the centre as well, the French have made an assault failed. So Portuguese and British infantry are holding. This British infantry here needs to retreat because they're in the line of fire of other British infantry units. We are going to see some artillery as well starting to limber up and get a move on. Got the British artillery here on the flanks. I think that's canistering there, trying to do as much damage as possible. These flanking units causing them to redline a little bit. Britain and Spain are looking a little bit stretched thin. They're starting to turn it around as right flank here after the initial French assault. Still got some decent French cav here. They might be the Polish lancers, they are. So I mean, if they can go in, I mean, they won't go here squares, they're going to be able to hold. I mean, there's red lines helping the coalition in the sense that they can just put squares and infantry up to the red line and pretty much makes it impossible for Cav to flank there. There you go, Lancashire. Put the cauliflowers doing their bit, routing some Frenchies. More French infantry getting stuck in. Might be able to break through some of these weaker Portuguese units, and that might cause a bit of a mash up for the Brits. If one or two of these units break, then it could be devastating for the rest of the line. There you go, the infantry number 20 that breaks. We're now going to see some cav come forward. Looks like it's multiple units of light potentially here, or maybe just the one. I think it's just the one light cav actually. That's going in, going into the Devonshire front there. It didn't form squared. I mean, they could have might not been able to. It's a small unit. Look at that, the French are getting in, seeing foreign recruits start a rout as well. And this is the weak spot in the British line. The Scots Guards fighting on the ground. One unit there, can't get any more. Chasseurs getting stuck in. There's still more French cav coming to the battlefield. Arriving a little bit later, might have been coming from the other flank. Nothing has happened over here, by the way, and we're seeing more and more British troops being dragged away from that front. So here we've got the Prince of Wales foot going over to the main front line. As the Scots Guards are still getting stuck in. They need to be careful with the Spanish, don't just shoot their own British allies, because that is a danger. The Scots Guards have done well. Fighting French grenadiers right now. They're not fighting goons, that's for sure. They would not be winning that fight. And there you go, 28 of them left. And they rout. I think that's because of friendly fire rather than anything else. But wow, what a electric sort of battle that has been so far. I mean, pretty brutal. I mean, France has gone in with a lot of stuff. There has been a little bit of fibbing by the coalition, which is unfortunate. But I still think the Brits would have held on so far. They've done a pretty stellar job. They held the hill. We've got some tiny little units though. Luckily there are fresh British units coming. There's still tiny units, 70-man units. Going to get overwhelmed by most French units, I would have said. There you go. Looks like the French re-rallying. There's a lot of redlining units down there, whether they've re-rallied or whether they're unhappy because of routing units. I'm not sure. Yeah, France is trying to re-rally, try and regather some of these lost troops. lost cause. Poles, they've had enough. They're off back to Poland. They're all going. All gone. Thought I saw something going into melee there, but I don't think there is. We've got horse artillery setting up over here, which is good. So like I was saying, the Spanish horse artillery is going to be very important in the sense that it's mobile, it can move about, it can, now get force set up to this sort of gap here in the line. It can start to duel with the French artillery if it wants to. Looks like it's going to try and do exactly that, but it looks like it just smashed into the hillside, so might not be getting great of angles. Well, that one did a lot better, nearly hit the artillery crew here. Do you hit the artillery while it's limbering up like this? Just insta-kill it. But yeah, it looks like France and Spain just gonna sort of just stand out each other now and just sort of have a bit of an artillery duel. Whether Britain will do the same or whether Britain will take the offensive, we'll see. We'll see. But yes, so the British and Portuguese lines over here, waiting patiently, and looks like they are going to be waiting for the next French assault. Maybe it'll come from over here. We'll see. And the road will give them extra movement speed. They'll be able to just quickly sprint up and try and deal with these cauliflowers. And a grenadier charge would probably break their way through. Looks like France is preparing for a new assault. We'll see what happens. I mean, minutes-wise, there's about 20 minutes left of the timer. Doesn't mean the replay is going to last another 20 minutes. Just that's how long I think the battle's set. I think it is set to sort of like 70 minutes. I think is a typical NTW3 game. I think. Oh, there's a what's that there? It's just right in the middle of the open ground. Oh, it's an artillery piece there. French have artillery right in the middle of like sort of no man's land. Now, it has routed now, but it did require some attention. The Spanish stage, you can see, absolutely blasting the crew with musket fire. Very, very nasty. Looks like skirmishers again coming forward, being a bit of a pain.
I fear your general is in mortal peril, sir.
And the general's in mortal peril. He's getting shot at, I think, by the artillery. Whether they're trying to shoot the ruins here might be the case. But if they destroy them, does, I think, make them pretty much in control of the coalition indefinitely. That's kind of how the rules work. If you destroy an LOC with a unit inside it, then that does pretty much just make it that army's LOC indefinitely, because you can't reoccupy it. It means that the last side that occupied it is their LOC. So they definitely don't want to do that. Focus on that ruins. At least not yet anyway. You might want to get it down to 50% if there's an elite unit that goes in there. But I don't think there's anything in there at the moment for either Spanish or British forces. And here we go. France comes forward once again. I don't know how good these infantry are here, but I wouldn't say they were as good as those in the Poles. These are like Spaniards. Spaniards loyal to Bonaparte. Here we go. France coming up once again. Because they're going to try and break through where the 6-pounder here is the horse artillery. Not a bad spot to try and break through. For the 95th Grasshoppers they're setting up. The artillery crew is running for its life. That means it's no longer going to be a horse artillery, it's just going to be a foot artillery in that one spot. And here we go. In goes the French. Fighting away, boys. In come the dragoons. They're going to run down these grasshoppers. Really, and also what's in here, a tiny little infantry as well. The buildings been captured for the ruins. They've got all the artillery crews with a nine-man gun crew in there. And here we go, a bit of a chaotic moment for the Brits. They've gone and formed square. I actually think these might be my units here, or at least these two. I remember bringing George Granby, and he's routed. Are we going to see the Royal Veteran route as well? Possibly. These veterans of multiple battles, and they look like they could be in a bit of trouble here. We're going to have to see some more squares form up. For guards, foreign recruits, do your bit. form square. Oh, and there you go. Nice volley by the Royal Veteran, I think. But I don't know if that was a FIM, really. That unit kind of had pulled out of combat, and they kind of just then turned around to get fired in the face. But I think they're going to get routed anyway here by French musket fire. But the French are on top of the hill now. They are so close to the Barossa objective. That is a little bit maybe of a FIM in there as well, going on for the Devonshire foot. They can go more melee. There you go, more artillery firing off canister shots blasting into the French lines there, causing the red line. So yes, more of the British infantry here getting stuck in, and they are getting charged by French cav. That's going to rout the British there. So the Tribunian is doing a really good job. And the French are nearly through. They're against some Zapadores now. 95th firing into the flanks there of the French. French actually rout. I wouldn't have called that a FIM. I think they were saying it was 95th a FIM, but I don't think it did actually. I think it was just technically out of melee. Just technically, I said out of melee. There you go, the Coldstream Guards hold back the horde of French infantry there. Glorious melee from the Coldstreams doing their bit, and in go more French infantry here. They might rout the 95th. Or not, the 95th are going to hold on. I think the flanking shots here from the foreign recruits have saved them this time. Maybe not this time though, I think the 95th are trying to actually flee. They're going to get run down instead. And still the French come forward. And still the French come forward up that hill. They're so close to the objective. And they actually looks like they're going to take it. They're going to get a French unit in here. Looks like actually might be a Polish unit, to be precise. And it looks like, I don't know what it's just the artillery crew in there fighting away. So yeah, not really exactly an actual infantry unit fighting for the building. Yeah, they definitely look like Poles, I think, potentially holding the building at the moment. Will they hold it? I don't know. The Spanish also sending some line infantry here. Maybe they'll kick the French out. And more cav coming. Look at the amount of cav the French have. This is that Visceral Legion Lancer smashing into the cauliflowers there. Volleys going up from the squares. And the Visceral Legion Lancer survive for now. They're going to fall back.
This building
there you go, the French have taken the building. Well, I don't know if they can hold it really. They have a tiny unit, well, say a tiny unit that was redlining already. The rest of the unit really, wasn't really in the building, they were just outside the building. So there you go, the French for a millisecond took the building. And it looks like now the Legion Lancer, they're redlining. I think they've been hit by artillery potentially. Or maybe not. I don't know where the artillery for the Brits has gone. But it... Oh no, they're still there. They're still there, 6-pounders. Somehow, and look at that. British, I think, have somehow just about survived. Honestly, it was a mess. I felt like we had a really messy fight in this one. A lot of friendly fire was going on for both sides, certainly for the Brits and the Spanish. I didn't really cover that so much. But yeah, the Spanish and the British were shooting each other so much, not helping each other out at all. Was a bit of fibbing from the Brits and the Spanish, but looking at the amount of troops left, I don't think it would have made too much difference. It might have halted a few charges here and there, but it's hard to say. It might have been a little bit close, but I think the British and the Spanish had enough left that they were, even without the FIMs, they would have possibly held the line. Don't know about so much on the right, maybe not. I think they were kind of arguing a little bit about whether that would have changed the outcome. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to say. There's obviously a lot of ifs and buts and stuff like that, of like what could have happened. End of the day, it still felt like a fairly clean, fairly fun battle. I think at the end of the day, the right results would have happened. It was a sort of very back and forth fight with Spain early on losing out, and the British sort of coming in a little bit more, yeah, a bit more clutch. You could say at the end, the Brits and the Spanish, they were clutching up and winning that fight at the end there. But yeah, looks like the combat general here is actually going to go in. He's going to go in for artillery, and this unit here smashing into the infantry, routing them almost immediately. The artillery here might rout as well. I think a fair few of the generals have fallen or routed for the French. certainly haven't seen any in a little while. It looks like maybe one dismounted and got killed, I think. I think that was what happened. And then I think one of these artillery pieces is actually a general as well, and there you go. They're going to get him as well, rout him, get him off the battlefield. There's a Trillia all the way back there that needs running down as well before this battle can come to a close. But we're going to fast forward now a little bit as we wait for the French to just sort of get finished off. The Spanish now and the Brits are on the advance. It seems as they try to support this cavalry here. They don't really need to. I mean, they're routing these guys pretty easily. The French are scaring the Spanish here, though. Even though they're redlining, these guys are still like, oh, we don't want to get too close. I guess I just don't know how many of the French are really left. It is kind of hard to tell. Looks like the artillery crew is returning, but not that they're really going to have a chance to load up those guns by the looks of it. The Spanish and the British are now coming off that hill. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a victory here, just as it was in history for the Spanish and the British. I mean, the bodies on this battlefield is bloody. It is costly for both sides. I mean, you can see from all the bodies here, that is a lot of dead. And that's not the whole picture. There's more here as well. I mean, we can sort of get a real gauge if we go from this sort of shot. I mean, that is a littered battlefield in a very small area there. And yeah, we're now just waiting for the last few units to get run down. I think that's all the French infantry gone. It's now just waiting on this Trillia all the way back here that just needs to be killed off. I think this is left at the back as like an LOC. Don't really know why, because like I said, the only the battle objective was the ruins over there. So any other LOCs being held don't really count towards anything. This Trillia is kind of just wasted. It should have been brought to the front, being an extra pest for the Spanish and British lines. The skirmishes were for quite a while. They really could have just carried on being a real pest like that, just chipped away at artillery and more like our own skirmishes before going in. But they nearly did break through, I will admit, the French. They nearly did. The on top of the hill, they really needed to get through there. I mean, whether there's Poles going in there would have been a better idea, the mass Polish have advanced rather than in the open fields where they did go in. I don't know. But yeah, really good fight. I enjoyed this one. And yeah, thank you to everyone that got involved in this battle. It certainly was a fun one. Like I said, if you ever want to get involved in a stream battle, feel free to join my Discord. We do try and do them every week. I have been a little bit poor this all like last month with doing NTW streams. Just because I've been a little bit busy. But yeah, hopefully we'll get back to doing more glorious NTW3 streams and some custom games as well as scenarios, which I'd really like to do as well. But there you go, guys. That is the final unit routed, and there we should have the end results appearing on your screen, hopefully. Yeah, this was, like I was saying, from my perspective, I was playing as one of the Graham armies. I didn't really get masses of kills because I was kind of like defending the other flank by the road, which was where we initially thought they were going to be assaulting, but they decided to not attack there. So I was slowly then drip feeding my men into the reserve force, and my reserves sort of were there to help force back the French when they made it up that hill at the very end of the fight. So yeah, did my part, but not massive. Actually, my artillery got 123 kills. So many chevrons as well, getting my most kills there. The Cadiz is doing pretty well before they got murdered by Spanish friendly fire, getting 89 kills. Yeah, the Coldstream's getting 64 kills, but nothing else getting masses in the way of kills in today's battle for me. But yeah, a victory nonetheless for the Brits and the Spanish. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone that took part in this one. We had a few new faces. It was great to have them along. Great to have them back for some more streams and scenarios as well. But yeah, if you ever want to get involved anymore yourself, you know what to do. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on a single NTW3 battle. But until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye for now.